y'all. So we're driving through Missouri right now. Yesterday I picked up a load in Mississippi and I'm taking it to Michigan. I gotta get it there tomorrow. So today I got a full day of driving, so I thought I'd come in here and share another story. Now if you watched my last two videos, y'all know that I've been saying I'm gonna share stories about my first year out, because I didn't do YouTube my first year of trucking, so it's a lot of things y'all didn't get to see, a lot of things I didn't share. So this is another one of those stories. So I want to talk about my most embarrassing moment in trucking so far. All right, now this is 2019. This is either week 2 or 3 of me being out on my own in the truck. Okay, so I want to start this story because this happened on a Friday, but I want to start from Thursday. So it was a Thursday, and I had just delivered a load. I was somewhere in Virginia, I believe. So they dispatched me another load, and I'm super excited about this load because it's a load that's going from Virginia to Nebraska. And I believe it was about 1,300 miles, but I know it was over 1,000 miles. But if I remember correctly, it was around 1,300 miles. So I'm real excited about getting this load. So I'm on the way to get this load. And while on my way, Rail calls me. So I pick it up, and it's not my fleet manager, it's somebody else. And you know, he's like, hey, I got a driver that needs to get home. Would you mind switching loads, you know, with the driver? Because it's him and his wife, it's their anniversary, and he's really trying to get home. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really want to give up that load. You know, it's a good load. It's my first like 1,000-mile load. Now I'm thinking like, shoot, but when are they ever going to dispatch me another load like this? You know what I'm saying? You know, this, like I said, it's my first 1,000-mile load. I'm thinking about the money I'm gonna make. So I didn't really want to give it up, but I'm like, hey, you know, it's the guy, it's him and his wife's anniversary. You know, he's trying to get home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, to me, I'm like, okay, you know, I think I was still going to stay out for like a couple more weeks. So I was like, all right, you know, I'll switch it off, you know. So I told him I'd do it, and then I hang up. So about 10 minutes later, my other fleet manager calls me and it's like, hey, like, did you switch loads with a guy? I'm like, yeah, I switched loads. And you know, he said, well, I didn't have to do that, but you know, if I was okay with it, that's fine. So I'm like, yeah, you know, it's cool, I'm fine with it. So anyways, I ended up meeting the guy at the place I was supposed to pick up from. I ended up meeting him there, and we swapped loads. He had a steel load, I give him my empty trailer, right? So I delivered his load the next day. So now we're on Friday. So I delivered his load. Then they dispatched me another load. So now I get a load that's picking up in Baltimore, and it's going to Gwen, Michigan. Now it's I think it's a little bit less. It was a little bit less miles than the other load I was getting, but it was still over 1,000 miles. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. They got me another 1,000-mile load. So, you know, I was like, all right, cool. So I pick up the load, and I head towards Ohio, and I had planned on stopping at a rest area or a travel plaza that's up there on I-80. Y'all know about the I-80 travel plazas. You know, all the drivers out there, if you up that way, you know, they got the food courts and the showers and the, you know. So, you know, I like stopping at those places. Usually you can find a parking spot there, unless you get there real late at night. But even if you get there real late at night, guys kind of just create their own space, if you know what I'm talking about. So I had planned on stopping at, you know, the first one when you cross over into Ohio, the first one that's available. I was going to stop at that one. So I'm riding through Pennsylvania, and I run into some traffic, and you know, long story short, I wasn't gonna make it to the travel plaza. Too much traffic. So I find a truck stop pilot. So I pull into the pilot. Now the way the pilot's set up, there's parking spots on both sides of the lot. So literally, if you want to back into a spot, you know, on the left side, the driver's side or whatever, you know, you can do that 45, get your normal 45 in. If you want to park on the other side, you might have to blind side back it, or, you know, you might have to, you know, turn around before you go down that, you know, down the alley and, you know, back it down the alley so you can do a normal back. Or, you know, if you can, you can do like a U-turn and swing it around. Now, I didn't want to do that because it didn't look like enough room. Plus, I got, you know, on the trailer, I had spread tandems, and, you know, you don't want to flat spot your tire or rip a tire off. You know, if you got closed tandems, you know, on your trailer, you know, you can probably whip it around with no problem if you got the room. So, there's a spot that I find, you know, I get to the truck stop, I find the spot I want to park in, there's two trucks on both sides, right? So you gotta back it in between those two trucks. So I was about to set up for the 45, but, you know, I look to my right and I see there's 3 wide open spots directly across from where I'm trying to park at. So I said, oh, okay, I'll just pull in, you know, I'll pull up, you know, whip my truck around up in those spots and kind of, you know, straighten my trailer out so I can do more of a straight back than a 45, right? Now, I'm still new, right? You know, I can maneuver this truck out on the road, you know, fine. You know, at the time, I was good with maneuvering the truck, you know, on the highways, on the streets and stuff like that. But when it came to backing, I still was, you know, I was still a little iffy on backing. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't the most comfortable, you know, with backing at the time. So I decided to go ahead and set up for that straight back. So I pull up where them 3 spots is open at, and I said, okay, I'm gonna do a straight back, right, into the spot. So I set up for it, and my trailer, it's so funny because now it wouldn't even have been, like, if I had to do the same thing now, it'd be so easy. But like I said, at the time, I was just still new, still kind of fresh, still iffy, still a little iffy at backing, right? So, like I said, I set up for it. I get my trailer. My trailer is not really straight how I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? It's not really straight how I want it to be. So, I decided to, you know, kind of back my trailer. You know, I wanted to straighten my trailer out. You know what I'm saying? So, I start backing up to straighten my trailer out so it can be angled towards the spot that I want to park in. And I'm backing. And then, boom, I just felt my truck hit something. I'm like, ah, shoot. So I pull up, and well, I actually look in my mirror first. I look in the mirror, I seen what I hit. I hit somebody else's truck, right? So I pull up, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm kind of in shock. Like, I'm just like, I can't believe what just happened. I can't believe I just hit this truck. So I pull up, and I'm looking in my mirror, and I see this bald head white guy get out. You know, he pissed. You know, he got his shirt off and everything. So I'm like, okay, he probably ready to scrap. So, you know, I was like, let me get out. You know, I might have to scrap. So let me just go ahead and get out, you know, get it over with. So I get out, I walk over. I mean, he pissed, he cussing and everything, but you got every right to be. You know, I'm like, I can't be mad at, you know, hey, I done hit your truck, you in there chilling, you know what I'm saying? And I done hit your truck, I'd be pissed too, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he's huffing and puffing and cussing, and I'm just like, hey man, you know, I'm sorry, it was an accident, I really didn't mean to, you know, I'm sorry, like, I'm just apologizing to him, you know, because I really was, I felt horrible, I felt bad, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, well, I'm calling the police. So I'm like, okay, you know, he's calling the police. I go back to my truck, you know, I get my get my permit book and all that with my information, insurance stuff, and all that, because I know they're gonna want all that. So now let's go back to you know, what happened and why did I hit the truck, right? So I'm straightening the trailer out, and it's so funny. Like this is it's not funny, but it's so crazy because throughout my training when I was with rail, my instructor, you know, when I was in Marshfield doing the training or whatever, my instructor the whole time was like, when we were driving, when we were back in Hay, make sure you got your head on the swivel. So make sure that you are looking, you know, at both sides of your truck. You know, your mirror, you look to one side, okay, you see that, and then you need to peek over to the other side to make sure that you don't hit nothing, right? Tell me why when I'm backing, and it's such a crazy, like it could have been avoided. It's such an easy mistake that I made. It could have been avoided. Tell me why I'm backing and I'm looking at one side of the mirror the whole time. I'm just backing, like I'm just looking at one side of the mirror, and I'm just like watching my trailer. I'm so focused on just trying to straighten my trailer out that I'm not peeping at the other side. I'm not looking left and right. I'm so focused on this driver's side. I need to be looking over and peeping at the passenger side every now and then just to make sure I don't hit nothing. But I didn't look. I didn't keep my head on the swivel like I was supposed to. And that's how I ended up hitting that truck, because I'm so focused on one side that I didn't look over on the other side. Because if I would have looked, I would have seen how close I was to that truck, and I would have straightened up, and I would have had plenty of room to get that, to back that trailer into that spot. But you know, that's what happens when you lose your discipline. You know what I'm saying? You lose, you know, you forget what you were trained to do. You know what I'm saying? So that one moment cost me. So anyways, so, you know, like I said, the guy, he's huffing and puffing, cussing, he calls the police. And so, you know, after he does that, you know, things kind of start to calm down. We start taking pictures of the trucks and stuff like that, taking pictures of the damage. And, you know, we get to talking, and we slow down, 55. That's why y'all slow down. Let me get behind y'all. So, you know, so like I say, after he gets done huffing and puffing, because things kind of, you know, they start to calm down, and you know, we're taking pictures of the accident and all that, and so we get to talking, and he actually tells me a story about, you know, his first month out, he had an accident when he was a new driver. You know what I'm saying? So he was giving me some advice. I think at the time he had been driving for about 3 years or something like that, or he might have been driving longer, I'm not sure. But he had some experience, so, you know, he was giving me a lot of advice and just sharing with me some things. And he actually helped me back into the spot after we were done with everything. He actually helped me back into the spot that I was trying to park in, and he offered me dinner. Now, I thought that was a little weird. He was trying to offer me dinner. I'm like, dog, I just hit your truck, and you trying to offer me dinner? You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought that was kind of weird. But you know, but yeah, like I said, everything was fine. I ended up parking in that spot. I had to call rail. I can't remember. I think I actually called rail. It didn't happen. And then, you know, I had to submit them photos and all that stuff, and I was able to deliver that load I had that Monday. But then I got another load to drop off at the Gary terminal, and I had to do the close quarters training in the Gary terminal, right? And so did that, and then after that, rail, they was on me for a while. Like they were sending me video events and just like, you know, just anything really, following distance maybe, and you know, whatever they could find. They was just sending me, like, basically to let me know that they was watching me, pretty much, right? So so yeah, after that, I was paranoid to park anywhere. I was paranoid to park at truck stops. I didn't want to back anywhere. I stayed at the rest area as much as I could, and if I did park at the truck stop, I would get there mad early to where the lot was wide open, so I could park in a wide open space of like, 6 spots open in a row. So I went, because I was just paranoid. It messed me up. I was really paranoid for a while to park anywhere, and I didn't get over it. And I was like that for at least 3-4 months, and I didn't get over it until one night I had to park at a Flying J. I was long time, so I just had to park at a Flying J. It was late at night, and there was 2 spots open, but both of them, they had a truck parked on each side. So I was like, shoot. So I was like, well, I got to get it done. So, I just slow it. And y'all know some of them Flying J's, some of those spots are real tight. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of the Flying J's, they make the parking lots real tight to where, you got to be good at backing them back in there. So, it was one of those. So, I just took my time. It probably took me a good, I ain't gonna lie, it probably took me a good 10 minutes to back that thing on in there, because I would move it, I would back up a little bit, then I would, pull the brakes, get out the truck, get on the other side, make sure I was, good, make sure I wasn't gonna hit nothing and stuff like that. So I just kept getting out. So I ended up, getting it in the spot or whatever. So that was a breakthrough moment for me right there. After that, I was, I wouldn't say I was like super confident in backing, but that was kind of a breakthrough moment for me to be like, okay, you can back, like, you can back this truck. So, and then, over the course of time, I just got better at it. The more I, had to back up at certain places and truck stops, the better I got at it, and the better I understood the concept of how to back. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah. So, just wanted to share that story with y'all. Like I said, the mistake I made is that I didn't keep my head on the swivel. I didn't. I wasn't checking for the other side of the truck where I was when I was backing up. You got to make sure you do that, because it can be anything. Somebody could be on the other side of your truck, and it happens. Believe it or not, people get hit at these truck stops. I hear stories all the time and see articles all the time on the internet about people getting ran over at truck stops and stuff. Dogs getting hit. Sometimes people might have their children with them. You know what I'm saying? And their child run out, and you can just anything. You just got to be aware and alert of anything. So, and then just take your time. Take your time back, and you got to get out. If you are a new driver, you have to get out. I'm sorry. Like, let's be real. I know they tell you to always get out and look, but let's be real. Majority of drivers ain't getting out and looking. Like, especially if they know how to back, they're not getting out and looking. If you're a new driver, you got to get out and look. Ain't no option for you. Like, you just have to. You know what I'm saying? And if if there's a driver that's behind you or whatever, or in front of you, that's honking his horn because they got to get around you, or they got to get past you, like, it just is what it is. They just gonna have to wait, and you just, your job is to not hit nothing. You know what I'm saying? Your job is to get maneuver your truck around without hitting anything. You know what I'm saying? That's your job. So, you know what I mean? Because them same guys that's honking at you trying to rush you, they'll be the same guys that's pulling their phone out and recording you talking about how much of an idiot you are. You know what I'm saying? They'll be recording you and posting you on Facebook and boneheaded truckers and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just take your time, and you'll be all right. So, like I said, my mistake was not looking in my mirror. So I just for that one moment, I lost my discipline, and it cost me. So, but that was the only time that I had, that was my first and last time. You know what I'm saying? That was my first and last time that I ever did that. So, well, yeah, just wanted to share that story with y'all. And, appreciate everybody for watching. Thanks to all the subscribers. Thanks to all the people that like my videos. Thanks to all the people that leave comments.